Make that big boss less special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level. Second level gaming. Second level.
What's up, guys, and welcome to PixelPop 2017 in St. Louis. I am here with the developer of LUCAH, my friend Colin here, from Melessthanthree, and this is a nightmare action RPG game about finding yourself.
Yes,
so,
very good.
Yeah, it was a mouthful. I tried.
Yeah.
So would you like to explain to the viewers exactly, in your kind of opinion, what this game is about to you and like why you made it and kind of that?
Right. Well, so besides the description that you gave, LUCAH, the way I like to describe it is like reading my diary, but also there's a lot of Devil May Cry-esque combat sequences in my diary.
Okay.
And
is that just how you see yourself, as like Dante?
No, I wish. The character of this game is not as cool or empowered, but I think that's a part of like what the whole journey is about. You're kind of in this like nightmare action game that kind of starts out more like a survival horror type thing, where like things hit really hard and you just you don't want to engage that often. But my hope is that as you go through the game and you get better with the skills and the enemy types and all that, you become more confident in your own ability and can really go after the game world.
So what's the curve of progression here that we're talking? Is it something that it's going to take you like 3-4 hours to get to a point where you feel like you're actually starting to make like serious headway and kicking ass, or is it something that happens relatively quickly in the game?
It's going to be a bit more of a process, I think. My hope being that like there's definitely like a beginning to the game where I'm definitely like introing you, and even though it seems like it's very difficult, I'm actually being pretty lenient on a lot of things. And there's very little penalty for like game overing in the game. There's this kind of mysterious number that goes up every time you die, but you don't lose any like experience or whatever, or weapons or anything that you.
So no one knows what the number means.
Not yet.
Okay,
and that's something that comes up in the game story.
Well, that was the first thing that was the first thing, because I asked you to explain it to me, the controls and stuff, and you were just like, figure it out. So it was like, all right. So there's definitely like this sort of hint of the game having a almost like like how you watch one of those movies like Donnie Darko or something, and then they finish, and then you're just like, I'm not sure what happened, but it was really cool. It's kind of that's the vibe that I got. Like, I'm in here, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's cool and I like it. And you sort of you don't really hold the player's hand throughout anything. There's definitely tutorial, like press this button to do this. But as far as like all the rest of it, it's very much kind of left up to the player to work their way through the nightmare, right?
Well, yeah, one of the like big things we're trying to do with the game is evoke a certain kind of mood. And aesthetic, kind of like, even if you don't necessarily get what's going on, you can enjoy the like the feel and the art and all that stuff. And hopefully, kind of, I think like the most effective kind of storytelling is one that gives you some kind of a set emotional state. Whether it makes literal sense or not. No, I dig it. And the art style is kind of unique as well. A little disorientating, but you said that was on purpose. In certain places. Why go for that? Why go for that art style and the purposeful disorientation? Well, part of it actually was kind of just came out of happenstance. I've made a few games that kind of look like this, and one of the biggest difficulties I've had in showing this game is kind of explaining what exactly it is. Because it's like, it's pixel art, but not quite pixel art, because there's a lot of like distortion and stuff. And
it's kind of like, it's almost like a bizarre sketch. Almost.
I've heard
where you go outside the lines.
Like I've heard like wireframe as like an example, kind of. Part of it was just, I don't necessarily consider myself an artist by trade. This is like the first game of this like size that I'm like animating and doing all the art for, that kind of thing. So one, it's easy for me to iterate on a simple style like this, but also one, I kind of just like how it looks. And I think it definitely goes for the kind of mood that the mechanics are trying to create. And also just like, there's not a lot of games that look like my game, and I want to take full advantage of that.
No, that's totally, that's a great idea. So as I was playing through it, I was starting to gather like some idea of like, okay, now I can dodge, and now I figured out how to do that.
Yeah.
There was some other, there was like an L-style shield that came up, a little green shield that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Still don't know exactly what it did, I'll be honest, but I felt better having it.
Okay.
I felt like I'm green now.
That's good.
That's got to mean something.
Yeah,
Again, it's all that ambiguity that I love about it. And it has that kind of like old school Zelda room-to-room feel as you're just going like through and through. So I did end up getting my ass handed to me by a boss.
Yes.
And how long is the game, and how many of those style of things are we going to see in terms of like big bosses and that kind of stuff?
Sure. So the public demo that's out generally takes around 45 minutes to an hour to complete.
And that's the one that we were playing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It covers about, I'd say like the first fifth of the game, so you can imagine about like a 5 to 6 hour total game once it's complete. Yeah. It's currently in development with hopefully releasing sometime next summer. Awesome. So in about a year.
And you're aiming for release on the Mac, Linux, and PC platforms with a potential for it to hopefully go console at some point. That's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there any kind of things that I didn't learn during the playthrough that you want to share with me that would get me pumped up about it for like the full release? What's coming?
So one of the items you got was the rewind. I didn't necessarily see you use that.
No, I wasn't sure what it was, and it scared me.
So when you use that, it instantly resets whatever fight that you're in back to the beginning of its state.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a healing item, but it goes a bit more with what I'm trying to do with the game, where like you can't just force your way through a fight. You have to get better at it.
Right.
Right.
So it gives you the opportunity to go
just
like,
instant
let's
retry.
Try this again.
Yeah.
Is it from the second you enter the room, or like
from the second the fight starts?
So I could have tried that boss again.
You could. Yeah.
Well, now I know.
But now you know. Yeah. And hopefully as you play the game, you learn more.
Yeah, no, it was great. I had a great time with it. It's been, one of the ones that caught my eye. I walked around the whole floor, and this is the one I came back to first. So.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. So lastly, I suppose, is there any place that people can contact you, like give me websites, give me Twitter, give me all that? We'll give them that. So they know where to go to, and I'll have some fancy graphics up on the screen that say where.
Basically, I'm always on Twitter, so mention me at Melessthanthree. Here, you want to sign up? It's the name of our development group.
Yeah.
So at me there. Otherwise, you can download the game at my itch page, so melessthanthree.itch.io /LUCAH. That's LUCAH.
And we'll put a link to that in the description below.
Download it, try it out, leave me a comment.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Absolutely. Awesome, man.
Great.
Well, thank you so much for spending time with me.
And
thank you
so much
for showing me LUCAH. You guys, you should definitely check this game out. It's a lot of fun. I know a lot of our viewers are going to be really excited about this one, just the style of it. It's a lot of the same type of game that we cover as far as genres. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.